Welcome to yet another episode of the ScreenShot podcast. I'm joined here by the gay rights activist. Sorry, I just had to do it. I had to do it, guys. Yeah, I was suspiciously too serious. Yeah. Anyway, back to serious business. Welcome to episode number 23. Yeah, the Jordan.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
The
Jordan episode.
Where's your chama Jordan? Leave as the West. Yeah. Let's waste my number. It was episode 69 since that.
Yeah. All right, if you guys have any idea what these guys did on their podcast for episode number 69, please leave that in the comment section.
The episode 45.
The episode 45.
45.
So episode 8.
All of them.
Yeah, all the numbers.
All the numbers.
We make sure.
Why are you acting like you don't know?
I don't know. What did you
I don't.
All right, after the.
I mean, before 5.
I was really trying to keep this PG, man. I really tried. That took us what, 30 seconds?
Yeah.
That's a record. Yeah. I apologize in advance. Namdas hamba lama deviants. I'm a podcaster. I'm a cool. So if phunyuka, you know, if they slip out like a 4-letter word at some point, you know, just forgive them. Omunye actually like mube practice earlier on before the podcast. To make sure ukuthi yazicida.
Yeah, I feel like in podcast label, we was highly like we talk about my clean civil.
So not a wait.
Yeah.
Tina was so way to lava secret state. Lava secret state.
Same to Zin.
Some twins.
So anyway, just go through intros because abantu ababukele podcast they're probably wondering what the hell is going on right now.
Yeah.
So anyway, you know us, we Melinda. It's all and then this is long Kabel. He goes by so many names. Or
a bunch
of names.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. Tell people who you are, like what you prefer to be called, your pronouns as well, if you've got any. And what exactly you do. And then I want to do the same for
so the plot twist, the joke is on you because when we was doing a joke, I was saying I'm a gay rights activist, but we are. My name is Kabelo. I'm a gay rights activist.
But it's good for the views.
Well, you see, active guy. My name is Kabelo, aka K Breezy, aka Big Juicy, aka Big Slippery, aka Big Mozzarella, aka Big Mozzarella. I'm a recording artist. I'm a rapper, / podcaster, / international man of mystery.
All right. Is it true that you're a farmer as well?
I am a farmer.
All right.
It's true. I never really introduced myself as such. Because even there was a newspaper article that I did a few days ago, and my mom was also saying, "Why didn't you mention you're a farmer?"
Yeah.
And I'm a farmer.
Yeah. I feel like in this day and age, where the government of the day is encouraging young Zimbabwean people to be entrepreneurs, you must tell them that.
Yeah, it's true. But if you put the podcast, I see Baba taking kuku.
Manje lapha bayithenga.
Oh, lapha.
Lapha bayithenga.
Bazali ngama broiler ngama tendele ngama theater nomumbu namagwili. $10.
That's a stem or something.
Tendele, what's that?
It's that chicken thing.
Is it turkey?
Jesus Christ.
Black
Guinea fowl.
It's a you see, you also.
I said it's a chicken thingy.
Oh, you're the
It's a chicken
turkey.
thing. Me, I'm better by saying turkey.
But I
What's a
know.
chicken thing?
money.
But you are any guinea fowl.
Yeah, it's a guinea fowl.
All right. It's big, right? I'm assuming.
Nah, not as big as turkeys. It's like a chicken.
Okay.
A chicken thing. And
my word.
white
Chicken thing, it drumstick.
Moving along. All right, so that's great. The reason I was mentioning you being a farmer is because I heard a story sometime last week where you're teaching young Gcine here how to farm.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
And
how did that go?
When in Kuluma Kakul, So mina vele nza kukhuluma ke bese ngathi ngama.
Hayi, make ezikhulumi.
Alright, that's cool, yeah.
Akazikhulumela isitori sakhe.
So you introduce yourself, right? And tell people who you are and what you do. And who ngene ngezitori zakho ukamelo wayese.
Just to give people context. So I feel like after introduction yakhe la CV zingane. It's an international one.
Man of mystery.
I mean, ibizo lami ngumgcini content creator award multi
Wajabo.
multi award multi award winning content creator banga ama content creator win ama award.
Actually, I like dropping names, bro.
Yeah.
Does he have an award?
I don't know.
I highly doubt.
Basically, when original Don Data.
Yeah.
Or content creation.
That point,
the
like-
category wasn't there before you came.
Yeah.
Award yakona
It's true.
award. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
That's call me mother.
That is a fake checker, but it's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Award winning content creator, I create content nje.
Khuluma ukuthi ngumanyengisa abana. Ukuthi wawusenzani.
Thanda mankazana.
Lento yakho lana uyenza ku
Mjolo FM, shoot your shot. Yeah. Yikho nje ngikwenza content.
Ndembuzo.
Yeah.
Uwe lawayo means. Or is it like a partnership? Oh, nguwe.
Like I take executive decisions between myself and I.
All right. Weird flex, but okay. All right, great. But at the beginning, was it always like that?
Yeah, it's
Always like what?
always been like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because my assumption for many years was that BYO mean was a collective.
It's a collective.
Yeah.
Between you and yourself.
I'm sure we'll have about that. But when it comes to like bread and butter decisions, see.
Like I feel like at the end of the day, Indomeli post about I would post ongadlilanga like
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, so and I was so opposed that.
sometimes, yeah.
How?
Yeah.
How?
I better kunjalo futhi ngawublind. It starts looking like it's a many people effort.
Yeah,
Day one.
Ngiyatshela ubona even noma uhlala ama meetings you sit no I'll chat with the team. That time my team won't. That time
Let me talk to my partner.
Yeah, so ukukhuluma futhi ngento leyane yokuhamba emafarm ku breezy. Sahlangana enthawa the other day ngansi yamnika ijersey yakhe menu. Shitty team by the way. But then I was sithi ngase ngibuza ukuthi leya ngapha after this what ngiye siye efarm lapha na awufuna ukuya-check na sharp asifike siye-check ngitshela ukuthi ha vele izafika sithi
Lemonade.
yabona laphana kulo mumbu yabona kube yi-sightseeing yabo bro ngazibona sengiqalisa ukugebhagebha amagodi yabo but ukugepheni amagodi lapha ngananzelela ukuthi amandla akhe lawami
Everyone is the same.
That day, ngediyandithola khona it was an easy day. Yabo, it was an
but
easy
the
day.
difference ukuthi njani he talks too much
Oh, Mufomen.
a delegator
Akulamntu okwalima ukukhuluma. Umfana wandithola ngedday ngingasebenzi.
All right. That's great. So later on in the episode, we're actually gonna like delve into your individual careers, what you guys do. I'm assuming you're gonna want to talk about music and anything else that's of interest to you, like anything that you're doing, and we're gonna talk about content creation
and women.
Totally. Yeah, I feel like with the intro that we gave on gay rights activism, now you're really gonna emphasize the fact that
You have to emphasize because hey,
Good thing.
yeah, which is funny because earlier on before we recorded, she was saying that a lot of men these days are what?
Okay, on the law.
Yeah.
It was because of a story lessons website.
Oh. Actually, let's start with that. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a story essence where like they were interviewing or Sisi Aba. How do I say it nicely?
Ladies of the night. People that belong to the oldest profession in the world.
Ukhombela mina.
Obhuti sebekade
It doesn't happen to be there.
Hayi.
obhuti sebekade
I mean, obhuti.
Yeah, khombela ngazi.
Umkhumbuze.
So sebeku competition yabo. So they will say, so there's
Hayi ukhumbula.
Ungikhumbuse enye video umjito wayesenza i-statement esithi lapha ekhaya siya accommodator white people icamera yamba yatshengisa umuntu oyi-white
Key and Peele.
black people yeah
Key and Peele.
and gay people and gay people
Keep focusing on the
kept
Just get out of camera in that.
okwenzile
Yeah.
wavele wathi so
So I think what I'm gonna do for
Hayi. Ngiyazi into sifuna
I
ukuyenza.
have to take it back.
Sefuna ukuthi ku-post production la ngoba abafana sebeqeda ibhizinisi ukuthi befake iphathi
I
yayo.
mentioned LGBT. La camera menzabona ukuthi ufuna ukuzuma kuba.
Mina futhi ngingahlala lapha ngifake lip gloss. Ngikade livele in recorder la.
yabo
Anyway, let's split time. So many things you say.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Be good.
Yeah.
So I remember sitting when I saw the competition between guys, okay, so we compete for amadoda.
but amajita endawo singazake sobone like emile lo
Athengisa nga.
athengisa
Ebawa.
or maybe kule site or something
Oh, tell me you make my connect.
Because ba computer nga.
Yeah.
Anza ngibona. Othi sibona amajesi a negotiate kathi. Kodwa
No,
umjita
but think about it. Maybe it's like, you know, like how like a lot of retail chains and like for example, now you're wearing the shout out to you're wearing Stars 29.
Yeah.
I've noticed we always have local brands represented every episode.
oh yeah
Yeah, also.
Yeah.
So anyway, you've got Stars 29 and Stars I was skipper Stars chains on. Ralph, for example. Every single time skipper is a Galaxy Boy.
yeah
You know, that's an online store. So when I go out to Dean Galaxy Boy, you won't find it. But you can order it online.
online
So I feel like
Computer.
welcome
so,
city like
so you see where I'm going with this.
Lithe computer village kule zitabani lithini? Limzulu sisilo.
Sahamba nzima etown.
but
So yeah, nje uthi maybe bona they know what demographic yabo.
maybe nxi kule code yakhona yokudayisa
Hawu kunjalo.
sethi sithi maybe nxa umuntu uthi ifloat yemali okati ifloat
Ufunda ndisa okunye.
Hambe sidemo. Kamthi rate u 10,000. Andivele bakhuluma kuwe.
bese beqedile
You guys maybe unanzelele, maybe ufocus on me.
Diabetes landafas.
Never nice time.
Ngitshwa.
So man, I get you guys are like you've never noticed.
Oh no. I know we have.
obviously,
I got this. I think there is a specific club also. I'm not going to say it, but there is a specific one. Vele Bulawayo engani twice siba central venue. So I hear.
Me personally, I don't mind saying when ngingezela ukuthi.
Yeah.
Ngizela then ngiyakhuluma naye
ungakhulumi sebengasponsor podcast yona leyo ngelinye ilanga so ukhulume kubi
All right. But I mean, I'm not saying that that's the club that you're talking about. But there's a certain bar that's been closed down in town for renovations. Cafe something. Yeah. Cafe Taku or something along those lines. Allegedly. And so someone I saw actually, this is not my experience. Like in Antico, I don't know people that trip there, but someone on Facebook said, you know what is it for you? Says that tolerance in my mind about things like that. Joa abantu bendawo le bengasela ndawo yokunathela khona. Sebeza hamba lapha thina esinjani esinatha.
Thina abanye sinatha khona.
kanti bayebelanda kanti bayebenatha
Exactly. Angazi ukuthi kahle by what they're saying are they insinuating that khona phana ecafe izbalibana ukuthi laphana kuyabe kusenzakala okunye ongasokunatha.
yeah
Lokuziliba.
It's like in SA and other countries, gay bars and Lapa you can't have a gay bar, Lapa it's a gay bar and it's illegal. So maybe we're safe. I feel like
Okay.
You know, as someone who tries to always have a more positive takeaway from things, I will say this shift in LGBTQ community coming out more and how it's kind of, for lack of a better term, I'll say quote unquote, offending heterosexual males. What it's actually doing is, I think it's giving heterosexual males an experience of what it's like to be a woman.
Okay. All right.
I heard the same thing last week and it resonated with me. Because
It's true.
it's so true when you're a woman and it's now at par with being gay.
So like abafaz, usually every time you go out, you dress nice, you get harassed, or the catcalling. It's a thing, and it's always been fine because it's always been heterosexual males who perpetuate that behavior.
Yeah.
Now they are not even receiving that behavior from LGBTQ community, but they assume they will receive it, and it's making them very uncomfortable because we don't want to be in clubs with gay people. But when you do that to women, it's fine. You've been doing it for thousands of years to women, and it's been fine.
Plus, I'm a gay type.
It's not like how but exactly. So now this is what's happening. So, I wouldn't say I have a stance on the topic itself, but I'll say it's a chance for men to actually be like, damn.
To self-introspect.
Maybe I fancy about harass.
Yeah, but you think who's abuse Katilapa as men? You said,
I think if we don't have conversations like that, we won't get there.
We'll never get there.
We have to get there by having these kind of conversations.
With the people that are actually doing harassing young Kwana, like for the most part. I also was really podcast. Told to say Juan.
For example, it's like how you would think that Ishadaya takes a lot of heat like on social media, right? Every other day is someone saying, if this guy, screw this guy. But they
resonate with what he says.
Cheetah or whatever, you really see that, hey, bro, this guy kind of has a base. So unless if someone out there is watching this podcast, right, and you've got you've seen yourself sexually abusing or harassing a woman before, stop that.
What about harassing a gay guy?
How do we? Okay, yeah. Actually, we never talked about how do we harass gay people?
I've seen angry men. Okay,
no, but I've asked to it now for no kuluma like uti gang is in the way like in
Dwabe.
Yeah. Is there any other term for it? Like, is the word Istabanya regarded as a derogatory term?
Oh no way.
Look, is a Angwazi, you see now.
Or maybe
no, that one doesn't.
So here's where the issue is, especially with the homosexuality. For other people, why they get so worked up, obviously we're conditioning, but for some people it crosses a cultural and or a religious line. You understand? At church, we are right. So that's why maybe some people feel like they're defending. Maybe let divide corner between how heterosexual men might sexually harass women and how it applies to Amador. Because when you want to say, me in my culture and in my religion, this is wrong. And if I don't speak out against this, I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jama walk church these days.
No, come as you are. However,
there's actually a church called that.
Called
come as you are.
As you are.
How do you spell the come?
Oh my.
Okay.
Out of interest, for interest's sake. Now come and Anyway. On a serious note, though, I've always felt that there's a flip side to this, especially that's actually becoming a bit more common. And is this just leading on to what you said earlier on, that you experience or you feel that a lot of men, did you say Bulawa or you just said men generally?
I said men.
Yeah, a lot of men are gay, for lack of a better term, on the down low.
Okay, I take it back with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But say the numbers are higher now than say 8 years ago.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Unless I've had conversations like man. Uti akhulume sibili ukuthi boyfriend yami
engumfana lapho.
Yeah, boyfriend yami iyenze so one. Khale sansola ama experiment. You know, you want to be cool, so try asenze ama 3 times ezinjalo. I'm telling you,
amanye experiment. So so many zanga when boyfriend yakho si demand uthi uyibambe kwezinye indawo.
Uyihlokoloze bitch.
Boyfriend yakho ngathi uyedinga omunye unkazana anti.
Ukuthi nizama yabona ukuthi na ngingakhulumi
Yabona
You've been trying.
You're tiptoeing, my dog. You're tiptoeing.
Yeah. But I'm sure even you want to
Yeah, now I'll try.
Yeah. So the question that I was getting to was, would you agree that a lot of outspoken heterosexual or seemingly heterosexual men that for some reason just come at gay people on the timeline or whatever, any chance they get,
And the closet.
would you feel like that's a fair assessment?
Abanye batsho njalo. Abanye batsho njalo. Pamina.
Excuse me.
In the nature, you have no reason to hate anyone, like any human being. Engakwenzelanga lutho. Lapha angibali ukuthi
Support Timbari.
ngithi Timbari,
Okay.
Highlanders, like wonke umuntu all reason yokuthi uzonda umuntu engazange wakwenza lutho. So ukuphungahamba ku social media usiya projector hate. I feel like reason why abantu maybe bengasho njalo is because abanye si uprojector ama insecurities akho usebenza abanye abantu just because maybe you are in the closet yabo wesaba ukuthi
Wesa ukuthi uzazama ukholisa.
Wesaba ukuthi uzazama ukholisa. And also like i-defense mechanism yakho sokuyikubhesha vele. Like nanzelela uCherry mayekufuna ungumjidi ukuthi ubehlale isithi yakuzonda. Like
Ngicaphula nje.
Yeah, since bancane vele.
Ngimthandi.
Ngicaphula nje.
Ngicaphula next thing say kuduba amajingoro. So yabo, so mina ngithi like all a reason yokuzonda as long as kunga disturb indlela ophila ngayo wena ifamily yakho how you operate yabo.
But do you think we'll ever coexist sonke happily, peacefully, sizihlalele laphana ungihlezi lo guy ngalo
Ezulwini vele. Ezulwini.
No, but I feel like it's possible. I feel like it's very possible. I think that's our reality. I think
we could coexist with different races.
Let me tell you.
As human beings, very
My first answer, I want to first answer a question yakho leuthi, do you think like abantu what was the question?
can we coexist?
The
What was
first
the first one? Like, do you think that people that are
they're closeted?
Yeah, exactly.
I think, excuse me, into kunyong law is true, or kunyong projection. However, I always stand by the point that social matters are not black and white. It's never absolute. There's always gray areas and there's always exceptions to the rule. What happens is, I feel like LGBTQ community has an agenda that they push also, and so they would want to make it look like anyone who doesn't agree with us is just being closeted.
Okay.
Sake saba le ghost elabuya ku podcast unota who spoke about how currently in entertainment industry they've incentivized being gay. And he even said if you guys were gay on this podcast, you would have 10 times more numbers than you have.
Really?
Yeah. But it's because so because of that,
what I'm saying is you should try and
check.
yabo.
So because
if
of that,
I were gay and she was lesbian.
But you were together. Imagine you be blind. But once again, we're in a third world country, so maybe some of these things work in like first world countries.
I also thought it would work. Lapha
Yeah, it's a different story.
But guys, have you noticed ukuthi the gay guys esibona bonke vale mali?
Nah.
Living a flashy life.
Asikho.
Abantu bazama usihuga.
No, me have seen broke gay.
Okay,
Nah, someone's
What was the same problem?
bakhona but laba abale mali bayithatha ngaphi?
I feel like
Powerful closet.
Could the association? Yeah, man.
Powerful
No,
closet.
but besides that, like, well, but I would like to think that it's got nothing to do with sexuality. Like, if I'm a hard,
Imali sebenza njani?
I want to be about I don't know, but
No, I mean, I'm sure. You should rather tell me silence.
nah, not even.
Oh, don't out me. That's why I said, like, maybe closeted. Maybe.
So say, are you talking about unemployed gay people?
Hey, you point here. I hear what you're saying.
Right, yeah.
Omuthi is living.
Ngoba phela nje phela-
Like, ngoba-
I'm compete.
Ungaba case with the man. Hey, could it be?
Try try.
No, no, but you said you're late.
Tell us.
You said you're late. What's going on, guys?
Somewhere along the value chain, there's someone that's gay.
Little son. For a little son. Hey, man, it's business, bro. Yeah, you told me to. Yagazi, meaning any issue having live. Let me take that back. I won't say issue having live. Better than the issue. Another observation that I have. You know, it's like this fight is happening on a global playing field. I feel like white people have really pushed an agenda to push the LGBTQ community because what it does is it puts them in this bracket where they can also become victims. You know, for the last 20 or 30 years, ever since Abantu Abamnyama emancipated themselves, white people have a lot of white guilt that they're walking around with. You know, you have an altercation with a white person. It could quickly have been drawn on a racial line. I guess this white guy was being racist. But once they become gay, the racial divide goes away. So, Mina, you find me having an argument with a white gay guy, I'm being homophobic. It's no longer a chance of he was being racist. It's now I was probably being homophobic. So now they're really pushing this agenda to have this umbrella where suddenly a white person can have a victim mentality as well.
Even if they were being racist.
Yeah, and there were ama consequences ankhona always a trapper when we homophobic.
When we homophobic. So we uvali racial war. It's now just homophobia. Like, look at the last a couple of celebrities, black celebrities have been cancelled. About the baby, even Kevin Hart for the Grammys, it was over homophobia. So now they have an angle to also cancel black. You know what I'm saying?
And they couldn't for a while.
They couldn't for a while because we had been coming out from 400 years of slavery. You know what I'm saying?
You know what this reminds me of? Tell me, Mr. Bonzi, I look and said these people are too clever.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, these are the people that come to the systems that suppress us. So, yeah, I really wouldn't put it past them to then use, gay rights as a tool. I'm not saying
that's what it is, dog. That's what it is, dog. And I'm telling you, Uti, now we have very talented, powerful black people who, instead of pushing a racial war, which we're still fighting to this day, are now gay activists. It's like, dog, if fight number one, ask fight number two, let's first get some racial equality going on. Let's win back Africa. Let's own our resources, our value chains and everything. And then we can move on to Bengoban. But in Nasilitela Sugara, look at Sakaula, Sili Sugan Abasili Pengan.
I say it in a queue, may I actually queue.
And I mean, well, not that the show has been racist, but I've been labeled as a racist myself.
Is it?
Yeah, because of my views towards the said mayor of
why don't you become a mayor yourself?
I shouldn't. No, but that was look, I need to but look, let me just take this time to apologize. That was a very silly comment. I don't know who that guy was. I'm assuming he was white. That was a very silly comment that you made, sir.
Sir?
Yeah.
With due respect.
To tell a citizen that's trying to hold his mayor accountable that high when a Obama mayor. What the hell is that?
Yeah, but look at William.
Anyway, moving along.
I'm a written warning. Ela tola la.
Deshiwa on screen is like ngoma zeposo. Thina sila order thina. Sila order thina.
We are. What do those guys say? Like we are very sorry, boss.
Very sorry, boss.
Sorry, boss.
You not
going to do that again.
Now, I'll call that the exception to the rule. And social matters are not black and white.
Yes, they're not. And I mean, I gave credence to his track record last.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, my personal views on his race are my personal views. We can't take away the fact that he was a decent minister, and I feel like I've got hope in him as a mayor. You know, I just don't like the guy because he's white. I'm racist. I'm saying, bro. You know? Yeah, but I know he's gonna be a good man.
He is. Yeah, he's one of the good ones. Oh, now we can say that about white people. That's what white people say about black people.
Oh yeah, he's a decent chap.
He's one of the good ones.
Let's see how he's gonna do. But yeah.
But that's what they used to do, like for almost like the pretty girls would be put put inside.
Yeah,
this.
my favorite
House niggas.
by Malcolm X is the one about house Negroes and field Negroes.
Field Negroes.
Yeah, where which was the way the white man did it, like system like where they'd have the ragged guys like us, you know. Tina us were told. Tina and the just wasn't told again in summer. But back then we were just told and done.
That's Kuba.
That's cool.
That's gonna be cool.
We had no business being in the house.
I'm cleaning everybody house.
Yeah, you could have been a house nigga. You could have said, look at me.
I know I say Franti.
It's like,
What Jaha?
yeah, what Jaha?
What tomato? My house nigga now.
Those are house niggas, right?
Those are palatable black men.
So they'd keep the field nigga in the field. You know, you've got no confusion about your place, like in the structure and the hierarchy of the household. But the person that was most confused was the house nigga. You know, ngoba usendlini phela. Sebogqoke sekuhlabe tie.
So when you one of them.
You know, yeah, they're speaking to you.
So Uncle Rakas.
It's Uncle Rakas. Such that when field niggas are preparing to run away, they know that that's go by the planning.
Yeah, when I was
either those weird or even
was a snitcher.
Yeah, when a snitch and the likelihood of you snitching, because you're probably gonna get rewarded. You know, for snitching.
And people fuzzy. And at that time.
For that one night.
Hey, that's how much that I told you.
Did you watch a movie called Django?
Yeah.
Django Unchained.
I think Tom and Lord of a clone.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, it was a clone.
On that note, Jamie Foxx is the most talented black man in Hollywood.
After Denzel Washington.
Nah, bro.
Nah, you can't.
Okay, we'll argue off screen. This is not gonna end.
No,
No, he's the best actor. I didn't say he's not the most talented. Yeah. Anyway, moving along. So in the way,
yeah,
Now, when they called you a racist, or you proudly call yourself that?
No, I called myself a racist. I explained why, but it seemed no one listened to me.
No, is it?
you are really owning this.
I also have a response to like when people actually do say I'm racist.
Watching some funny video
Podcast, which channel? Which is this you?
somebody channel I was watching video.
Also, to Bulumlo to buy connecting flight to straight. This is you, ne?
Is this you?
Yabona thina lista nxa sikhuluma idoti silokulahla ngesindebele ngiyathi mina ngazitha no white people are great unchaya ba
So you were saying.
I was saying, who's this guy? One of my students, Minister Farrakhan. I forgot who he is. Is it Elijah Muhammad? They also called him a racist, and then he said, "Let me explain to you when you call me a racist before I tell you my answer. You know, in English we have a prefix and a suffix.
Yeah.
You know, so ist is a suffix, meaning it's added at the end of the word, like a prefix is before. Suffix is added at the end of the word. And ist means someone who is a specialist in something, who has mastered something until he's become an expert. That's why if you're an expert in science, you're a scientist. If you're an expert in playing the piano, you're a pianist. So this guy is saying, a racist, are you saying, have I studied race? And I know my race to a point where I consider myself a specialist in race relations. Yes, I am, but I know the negative connotation that people carry with this word to mean I just hate other races. And racism is actually a prejudice, which means prejudice is to most prejudge, which means I'm judging you off the color of your skin before I know the content of your character. So if you're saying, because people always ask, can black people be racist? I don't think black people can be racist because we are not being prejudiced towards white people, because we're not judging them before we know we have 400 years of information of the content of their character. We know what they did. We know what they continue to do. So are we prejudging them, or are we judging them according to what they actively did on the planet? How about the transatlantic slave trade? Yeah. And tell us if we're being prejudiced.
Oh, that Dr. Omar.
Are we being prejudiced? We're not being prejudiced.
Yeah.
We've
got reasons.
We've got textbooks, bro. We know you guys, you sold us, you burned us, you raped us,
But it makes sense. Tina spends our but buses on. So
See, that was a prejudice.
it makes sense for us to not be. Because I've always thought we can be racist, but I think so many
Possible. Impossible. We have proof. Umuntu nxa evele litharatha ngini.
Yeah.
Ukwazi ukuthi ugogo next door yasitharatha. Nxa usithi hayi angifuni uhlala sokuthakathi wena usuli hater. Angiso hater machens. Ugogo lo yena lo nyamazi uyabuya every day ebusuku. Nyamazi.
And I'm not that. I mean, this is gonna be very racist as well. But you know what? Whatever.
No, you cannot be
Yeah, I'm yeah, but we've established that as a black person, I cannot be racist.
Cannot be.
So in that, and people say that no, slavery was a long time ago. Colonialism was a long time ago, which really wasn't like just like 40 something years. But I believe was in you are how you are as a person is entirely dependent on the conditioning that you got as a child and the conditioning that the person that raised you got when they were a child. So basically, and you can say no, bro, like I didn't steal anyone's farm.
Uma bese ngikubuza ku context yabantu abamnyama, community yabantu abamnyama ukuthi so ma umntana esifebe isifebe. Like so many bakujudge because of
Ngini ngomasalo.
Because of
Hey, that's a tricky one, my boy.
No, it's not even that tricky, I feel. Do you know why? Because when I own just so I know how many you know, who go whoever umasala now that man was. And somewhere within the conversation you hear this little with umama ke is fair.
Wayidayisa labona ukuthi gumira siyamcafa.
Umama ke asikhulumi umama. Chances are 60 to 80% that by that statement alone, regardless of what was I'm going to university or whatever.
Engineering.
Like from that statement alone, and
Abangini.
they'll have reservations.
Abangini. Yeah, it's true.
And I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's fair, but I'm saying what they'll be like,
Maybe the conditioning enzakalayo.
exactly. You know, there's some conditioning, whatever. If something happened in your upbringing, not you, right? And just it's an example. You know,
good woman.
tell me about your mom. She's a God fearing lady.
It was just an example.
Yeah. And I mean, this cuts beyond race, like I said. Let's say even issues of tribe. We know. I mean, fine. You know, among Debele that are way older than us, they've got their own reservations on how they feel towards certain other tribes. Right? But I've heard this said so many times, where most I'm not really these days in Jalila Ngapi, you're showing you know. I haven't even told you about the person that I'm dating, bruh. I'm not with you, is, you know, she's a God-fearing lady, you know, she's kind, you don't know that yet. All you know is just her tribe. And you would like, but I was just running with you know, but they'll say, you know, that kind of stuff, you know. So I'm not saying what they're doing is right, but they, from their experience of, you know, among other tribes, they feel like they have certain conditioning within, you know, that they pass on to the next generation. Yeah.
I feel like no cooler. When you listen guide down, like I'm traditions. I'm a beef when I allow like his coolie is swagwana. But you feel when at the age when I also going to in a common decision.
You have to make a choice for yourself.
So like as near as I can see judge a character you want to based on Uti Lishona.
But it plays a small role. It cannot be overall.
Again, it's up to you when Daniel would
really go out and prove
also making you to change the narrative.
No, but also truly don't know what to say, right? I feel like also you must see some of these unreasonable stereotypes, they manifest themselves in so many ways. Fine, they were founded in something justified. For example, I'll just say it out loud because also a platform that were on site. Science has done a lot of documentaries on Kukura Wundi and the like. Right?
Minishonai.
You remember that video? Very sure about
How when the
So anyway, right? So from Iskasona and there's always been some hatred between some Shona people and some Ndebele people. And it manifests, it dies and then it reborns.
Yeah.
It rebirths. It's born again in many other ways. Such that to some extent, I mean, we always joke about the Highlanders at Timbara, you know, and I feel like when we do it, it's just bands. But we'll have video from the last pitch invasion, bro. There's this guy, Jay, like, you know,
I know.
And I can see that for this guy, this thing is really deep.
It's personal.
Yeah, well, it's personal. Like, okay, we never get woman's kids, but couldn't
I haven't recorded.
record that for a coin.
I'm going to Taura is coming. Taura is
Islanders of Jan Mashon.
Ah, great.
I don't get
Tell them do what he never do.
Somebody was always fooling.
On top of him is going to. Very never be bored at this or you get to.
so a problem.
Yeah, this.
I feel like when I put a problem when I would so it's like you're part of us now. File your mayor when a sharp see now but also flow.
It's true.
You're
Very expectant from Mickey. This goes back to question, can we really ever coexist and get along?
Yeah. Which you were actually answering that before we
I want to say I think we can never coexist. But people need to stop looking at that like it's a bad thing. Because that is actually what the package of being alive is. It's the pursuit of, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
When the pursuit of perfection, excellence, true love, the pursuit of is the existence. We expect to think about it. Designed to life is designed to be us always in perpetual pursuit of knowledge, advancement, love. So trying to work towards coexistence is what we're here for. But we'll never reach it, and that's okay.
And they will never.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Do you know, I used to ask myself, if uNkulunkulu was if he was all knowing and he knew how we would treat each other, why didn't he make everyone the same color? And then I realized even Tina, when you see the same color, it's dividing in something.
Yeah.
It's dividing a tribe. La lava foot about tribe, but pulling but a socio-economic divide. Yeah. Mama don't know what the color I'm made.
Yeah.
Now, so it gets to a point where I guess it's in our nature, we'll always have it. So as a song gave a chance, Gusale Soxelaman develop 50. Good to someone develop what?
Yeah.
So that divide and so that divide and that's all it is, dog. And trying to, just live in the pursuit, die with chill about.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just a general question. Is there like are we say are white people the superior race in Mhlabeni?
We've been made to believe that for the
I've
longest,
actually got a lot of evidence to suggest the contrary.
They're not the superior race, but they've been programmed to believe they are.
Like you're saying.
But I think our idea, but I
but I mean that's a byproduct.
It's more like when we are basing success superiority, based on imali.
Capitalism. That's what capitalism is done.
Nanzelela why ama uvindo windi mayekubiza ukuthi uzogada umshoko.
Sure Kiwa. Kiwa
Kiwa.
Put on ether. A program of world domination. Abashala pursue going to other continents.
Not really.
It's not like no.
Let's
this
is Chama podcast. I want to Chama bra. Mama Kiwa. If it was a simple time, go back a century on the path. We said it. That's offensive.
But they, okay, do you think Uchi Basipa like are there any positive tributes? Podcast that
No,
would we
really.
have ever reached a point that we've reached in this world without them coming to colonize us?
I think when you put success when success we create we get and Tina get success kube bebe ngabuyanga maybe bekuzaba ikubulali iyokwizeni isilwane and si right ngakho and si happy but the fact that bona babe so called civilization yabo sesibase is success yethu ngezinto bona abazilethileyo of which okunye ku sharp and it's not like ama inventions wonke ayenzakaleyo be technology konke kwenziwa white people even ikama I think ikama yenziwa umuntu omnyama I'm not sure like
that's true but I think I money but so zangani sithemba ikama la
no but when
uthi
A lot of great inventions.
cabanga ukuthi ikama wena uqhube njani wena iqhube how many years ikama ususithi ikama that's because it's so good iPhone
okay so to my understanding the first problem that we have is that maybe for the last 450 years white people have controlled the narrative so even ama textbook tineswa refer to talk about these things were written by white people so it's always a difficult terrain to navigate when the perpetuator is the one who also controls the newspapers, the media. So it's easy for everyone to believe Utamakiwa, started everything. But it's actually not true. That's why they call Egypt the cradle of civilization. We had black people, especially in Africa. We had, I think, close to 2,300 versions of, let's say, loose concepts of what a university is, like a gathering of higher learning. Even we had all of those things way before Europe had any of these things. White people are like 6,500 years old on this planet. So they might, you can argue if they're the dominant race or not, but they are the last race. So they're called Caucasians because they emerged from the Caucasus Mountain range about 6,500 years ago.
Wait, Caucasus is
it's a place.
You know that clip? Who's this guy in jail?
What's
his name?
That's a white man.
Put name Slickback.
I thought he was just making.
No, it's a place. That's where they come from.
Yeah.
So who found Shurukui? I'm a Caucasian. I'm a Shurukui.
Oh yeah. And they're from.
Yeah, they're from Shuruki. So black people have been on this planet way longer than them. The oldest found the oldest found skeleton of a human is about 3 million years old. It's called Lucy. It's a black lady. We assume she's the first. See, I'm a Homo sapien, she's the first Homo sapien. Lucy. That's why that movie. Yes, but they called that movie Lucy because they were saying she's the first now of our next version. Because the first one of our current version is named Lucy. So that's where the concept comes from.
Oh, okay.
Now, before white people showed up, we had astrology, biology, medicine, we had music. Even the guitar comes from East Africa. It was called the ketare. We had mathematics, we had all of those things. And what most of those, they were called Moors, these black people, Abavila, like from Egypt, they moved to places like Italy, and they I think they ruled Italy for like 600, 700 years. You can Google this shit, bro. The stuff. You can Google this stuff. So I will say, has advancement in the last, let's say, 2,000 years been pushed marginally by the white race is true. But we're also progressing at our own race, at our own speed, actually. I see good was told about China, Makaka. We had other things going on. But because they were a different breed, they came with the faster speed of. That's why someone told me something interesting. He said, do you know Europe has bad weather? No resources, and very little arable land. So these guys, when they settled in Europe, they were always at war with each other. And what war does is it breeds invention. You have to fight better next time. Tina, Africa is big. So I was it Ushaka wenzani ezeli laba. Anjo move also in Zibulawa.
Yeah.
So Tina, for us, if you had somewhere else. But those people didn't have that. They were fighting for like small spaces. That's why when they showed up, they had advanced warfare than us. They had muskets, they had cannons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when they have pushed but some of the advancement that they've brought, we must take it with a pinch of salt because all it has done, it has ruined, the planet at large.
Yeah, true.
Someone was talking about umalumami a few days ago. He said, Amakiwa, you are always move into a place, into the conservation. Do you know? I think 80% of our conservation areas is it conservation, like where they keep our endangered species, like
like these sanctuaries and
these sanctuaries, they're all owned by white people. And I told him that point, and I said, but do you know who actually introduced ivory trade? Who actually came here and did the trophy hunting until these animals became endangered? It's white people, bro. So ufana uthi nguchaya senguphathele ibetadine. How breeze umphathele ibetadine? Uchaya ngubani in the first place?
Yeah, true.